Kimmie Hashey, what's up?
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good. It's day 2 of a 10-day break from work. So I'm
Oh,
feeling great.
nice. Yeah, we talked about that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing when you don't realize how much stress you're under until it's removed, you know?
Right. I know. I mean, I was starting to feel it. My anxiety was starting to rise and
Yeah.
PTSD triggers and all that. So it's just, I knew I needed to do it, but my parents left for, I still live at home. They, when my brother moved out, they basically told me I wasn't able to move. So, um, my parents left for vacation
Hmm.
and I couldn't leave my dog alone. So I was just like, it lined up perfectly with mental state and just things going on.
Thank you for being open about that. We share that and we have that in common. I have generalized anxiety disorder and PTSD and major depressive. I don't experience a lot of major depressive, but definitely the anxiety and the PTSD amplifies the anxiety. And we also have that similarity as well, that alignment there where we had talked about planning this episode and you
Yeah,
mentioned that you were doing that. And I was actually in the process of taking a leave of absence myself. I had my therapist writing me a letter for 30 days, but a bunch of shit went down in my job, a bunch of shady stuff. And so I just pulled the trigger and said, fuck it. And I quit. So
good for you, man.
we're in the same boat. Yeah. I was having some really difficult times when we got home, but thank you for being open about that. I really appreciate that. It is a topic that I'd like to explore,
Yeah.
but we don't have to go there right now.
Okay.
We'll get comfortable. I'm just bathing. I'm basking in this feminine energy right now. It's been a while.
Yeah, you have a bunch of dudes on there.
Yeah. I think I said
Get
the
one more
word
woman.
sick like 10 times yesterday,
I mean,
you know?
sometimes it has to come out.
Yeah.
Sorry, my
But
cats are like running around.
yeah, it's a masculine field, you know, it seems to be,
You
but
know, I've always been a female in a masculine world, whether it was my dad started me fishing when I started
I saw
walking.
that.
So, I mean, the fishing industry, cannabis industry, plants, everything that I've always been into my entire life has been like a male driven industry, which kind of sucks for me, but I mean, I make it work for myself.
According to society at least, but I'm sure
Yeah.
you experience it too. You feel it. I couldn't
Yeah, most
imagine,
definitely.
especially in all of those things that you just mentioned. I love fishing, dude. I absolutely love fishing. I've fished my whole life. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I saw
Yeah,
some pictures of you fishing.
my other room, one room over, is like all fishing poles and my lures and stuff.
Beautiful. So you do mostly sea, like ocean fishing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
My favorite is tuna, catching tuna.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of the deep stuff. I like to fish for calico, like in the
Okay.
inner shore, you know, like rock fishing and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
I,
bass and rockfish.
yeah, and I like to sneak into the nature center at El Dorado Park and fish for largemouth.
The little
Ninja
lake
fishing.
there, ninja fishing. I have a few friends that do that.
It's a
They're down
blast.
in
Golf
San Diego.
courses.
Yeah, golf courses, creeks, any little like water, land of water, they or body of water, land
Yeah.
of water. Who am I? Body of water, they'll try to fish it no matter what. If it's just like bluegills or
Yeah.
whatever.
I love that. It's a blast, man. You'd be surprised how many kinds of fish there are in the golf courses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they stock them.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I live in Bellflower.
Okay.
I was born and raised. I'm still living in the same house that I,
Cool.
came from home from the hospital in
Wow.
too. Um, I went to school in Downey.
Okay.
Um, I work in Whittier.
That's cool. Crothers Park is in Bellflower. I
Yes.
love that skate park. I used to skate that bowl all the time.
Okay. You
Yeah.
probably ran into my cousin there a couple times.
Okay. Okay. And I see quite the plethora of houseplants behind you. Beautiful. Got the humidifier going.
Yep.
Awesome. And could you tell me what obviously besides for creating humidity, is there a lot of benefits that you see by running a humidifier?
It just creates the environment that the plants need. I mean, this isn't my personal bedroom. This is my spare bedroom in the house.
Uh-huh.
So the guests get to enjoy it more
That's
than I
cool.
do to like sleep and all that. But the humidifier, it's good for your skin and all that.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, my brain kind of went.
Some good lighting in there too.
I have a grow light
Oh,
in my ceiling fan, but I don't really have it on very often. I have two windows right behind where the computer is, and they give really good light to the whole plant wall.
yeah. Well, they look healthy and beautiful. That's
Yeah,
fancy. I
yeah.
admire it.
I built these shelves myself with the help of
Awesome.
my pops helped me a little bit, but for the most part, I did it.
Yeah, I see that you're pretty handy. I would love to talk to you about that, like those stag horns that you make and stuff, but isn't that what they're called, right?
Yeah,
Um,
Stagborns.
but I would love to hear, where did it start? Where did the plants start?
So I don't know if you saw it, but I posted a picture or I reposted a picture that I had posted a long time ago. And it was me in my first day of preschool standing in front of my garden.
Mm. Oh
So
yeah, there was cactus, right?
yeah,
Your parents
and
exposed you to cactus, huh?
that was my childhood garden. My dad decided he was going to remove it after maybe when I was around 10 years old. My grandfather kind of fell into our giant barrel cactus, our golden barrel, and I also had a friend fall face first into one of the
Oh my
cacti that
God.
had like I don't know. When she came up, she looked like Hellraiser. She had like spikes, literally like spikes coming out of her face. And after those two incidents, my dad was like, "We're cutting it all down." So him and my
No.
brother chopped it all down. My brother got the latex in his eyes and went blind for a couple days. And
From euphorbia?
yep, a
No.
giant like the collimular ones. I
It's
don't
only
remember.
temporary blindness?
Yeah, it
Thank
it
God.
made him like he couldn't see for quite a while, but
Holy shit.
yeah, that went all my childhood cacti and all that. But other than that, I've always gardened. My aunt Sandy always had a green thumb. She used to live up in Paradise and had like a farm and a crazy garden. And then my mom's always gardened. My aunt Linda,
Beautiful.
always. My aunt Linda's like the succulent queen in our family, so I got that from her. Um, I don't know. I've tried my hands at veggies and fruit, but I don't. That doesn't work out very well for me.
They're so finicky.
They are.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I've grown tomatoes, but I don't like tomatoes. So then I have like a bunch of tomatoes that I'm never gonna eat. So I feel like it's pointless for me to even plant them anymore. Um, yeah, it just. Sorry, I say a lot.
You're fine.
I'm realizing this now.
Have you listened to my podcast?
Yeah, every episode.
Oh, no, thank you. But I say all the time and stammer and
It happens. But yeah, my whole life I've been around plants. Uh, my own personal like house plant collection didn't start until I want to say 2013. I had them on and off again.
Mhm.
Um, and then more recently it kind of snowballed when I went to the Philippines back in 2017, and then I found the like mimosa pudica in wild, the
Okay.
like sensitive plant.
I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is? Like when you
Uh-uh.
touch the leaves, it like the leaves close up.
Oh, okay, I've seen videos of those.
Okay, yeah, but they're actually very invasive in the Philippines.
Okay.
And we were going on a hike to go get tattooed by Apple Wingod, and we stopped on the side of the road, and I saw it on the ground, and I was like flipping out over it. So when we came back to the States, I was like, I have to find this. I need this at home. So I found that. However, before house plants, I had carnivorous plants.
Like the
Venus
Venus
flytrap.
flytraps?
Yeah. So I had some
Cool.
of those. Now I have even more of a collection of carnivorous plants. I have Nepenthes and Sarracenia and the sundews and Venus flytraps. They're pretty cool, but they need their own environment. So I built bogs for those, and it, I have too many plants.
Lots of water requirements for the carnivorous plants, huh?
Yeah, they need distilled water or rainwater or reverse osmosis.
Oh shit. Well, I'm not treating mine right then.
Tap water.
Yeah, totally. I keep it soaked, but some of it's been browning. I actually love Venus flytraps and was fascinated with them ever since I was a kid. You used to be able to get them at the 99-cent store
Yep.
when I was a kid. Yeah, and I've had quite a few and killed all of them. But I just recently got one from Mezcala and got my son one too, and I've been caring for it. But I would love to pick your brain about that. Maybe not when the pressure's on, like just separately about
Yeah,
that, because I would love to like establish a bigger
most
collection of
definitely.
carnivorous plants.
Yeah, we can do that.
Awesome, awesome. And then remind me, they're like generally pretty tropical,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I keep mine outside. They're in bogs in my front yard. My front yard's south facing, so it
Mm-hmm.
gets sunlight all day long.
And do they
Um,
like the light? Do they like
yeah, yeah.
bright light?
Mhm.
Oh, really?
The like pitcher plants, the like the Nepenthes, the ones that have
Mm-hmm.
like the jugs hanging off the foliage. Those ones don't necessarily want full sun, but Venus flytraps and the Sarracenias, the like North American pitcher plants, those ones like full sun.
Okay, I'm doing it all wrong. And what kind of medium do you use for
Um,
them?
those are in peat moss and perlite,
Okay,
and I throw a little bit of orchid bark.
so there's some drainage a little bit,
Mhm.
but they want to stay wet, right?
Yeah, like
Awesome.
they're from bog environments, so like marshland, you know.
Mm, mm, mm. Very cool. And uh, wait, so you were saying that you started collecting more intensely in 2013?
No, more intensely in around 2017, 2018 when I came back from the Philippines and
Oh,
like
right.
I saw a bunch of like the like Hoyas like these in the wild
Awesome.
and the Mimosa pudinka, the sensitive plant.
Yeah,
After that, I was just like needed foliage in my house.
that's beautiful. And your partner's Filipino, right? Is your husband your boyfriend?
Boyfriend, yeah.
Okay. He's
His
from the
family's
Philippines,
from
or?
Pampanga
Okay.
or Angeles.
Okay. That's awesome that you've got inspired from traveling to up your collection.
Yeah, it kind of spiraled. Like
Well,
his Lola over there has orchids growing on trees in their backyard and they have a greenhouse. So I was it's like I want this. I want this jungle environment in my home.
yeah, awesome. That was actually my very first love was orchids. When I was in like maybe middle school, I started collecting orchids. Really love vandas. I only have one vanda now, and I have a
Okay.
couple orchids sitting over there that are whatever those typical what are they?
Phalaenopsis.
Phalaenopsis, yeah. Um, but I always thought it was so cool when they would bloom a second time the next year.
Yeah, when you
Like,
actually get them to rebloom, it's a task.
yeah,
Same
yeah,
with like I have these like African violets.
very cool.
When you actually get them to rebloom, like you buy them with blooms on them, obviously, but
Sure.
they're kind of finicky. I've killed quite a few, but I never gave up. And now I'm kind of doing something right. They're a bit
Nice,
happy. I
nice. Yeah, what I found to
have
be
a
helpful is repotting them.
yeah, I have them in a like these ones are in self-watering pots.
Oh,
So they
wow.
stay with like a reservoir of water and then it's coated on the inside and it slips in and just absorbs from the bottom up.
How often is it constant? It's like just a little bit at a time?
Um, I top it off every like 2 weeks. My plants kind of run on neglect. I have
Hmm.
so many that it's kind of hard to like, especially with
Yeah.
like my collection of cacti outside and all the propagations I have going on. And I'm like, oh, that looks like it's wilty. Let me add some water.
Awesome.
But I mean, like in nature, they kind of take a bit of abuse. So I figured in
Sure.
my house, they can too.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you're really passionate and that this is this is a lifestyle for you.
Kind of,
That's
yeah.
what I see. Even if you neglect them, that's okay. Everyone's got responsibilities and stuff, but it's nice now you have that extra free time, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to going back, even though it's still like over a week away. It's
Yeah, I feel you.
like, do I have to go back?
Yeah, you were like telling me, oh, I'd love to talk to you about houseplants because I posted my monstera, and I told you I fucking neglect my houseplants big time. Like none of them ever get repotted. They're like, I barely care for them. I care for
Oh, and
my
they're
my
face
outdoor
away.
plants more. I spend more time. I need to. I need to repot them. There's a lot of plants that I need to repot for sure, but especially the inside ones, for
Yeah,
sure.
but all that is another cost, and
Yeah,
for
yeah,
making your own soil or buying bag soil or whatever you do. I don't know.
yeah.
Do you mix your own soil?
I do if I do go out of my way to get some. Oh yeah, I'll try to experiment a little bit. But yeah, when I was younger, like in my early 20s, my house was filled with orchids. I had vandas galore. Everything has since died because of my addiction. I kind of let everything go. But orchids are by far my favorite. I got orchids tattooed on my shoulder. My grandmother is a collector of orchids too, my Filipino side. So
Okay.
and those staghorns too. She has quite a bit of those.
They do
So
good in tropical climate.
right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I think that you're honestly inspiring me to want to get back into the tropicals right now.
do it.
I need to. I need to.
It's another type of like meditation,
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
I come in here and I'm just like normally super zen when I come in here.
right. They
I
got different vibe than cactus.
I do yoga in this room. I
Awesome.
like it just like for me it like sets my mindset in the right way or right direction.
Yeah, beautiful. And I love like looking at the veins. I don't know what they're called, but like the veins in
The
the leaf.
veination on the leaves.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. Like if it's a little bit transparent, and you like look at it in the light, so trippy.
Yeah, I have a giant fiddle leaf fig tree like right
Mm-hmm.
to the side. I'm like staring at it right now.
Very cool.
But it's right in front of the window, so you see like fuck, switch the computer around. I'll have to take a picture of it.
For sure. Yeah, I'll feature some of your plants for sure. I would love to like if you send me some photos, I'll put them in my story and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
What?
I'm not very active on my like actual Instagram feed. I
Yeah.
post more on my stories, which is kind of dumb, but
It's not dumb.
it disappears.
It's
So it's
cool.
not there. Like, but
It's just
I
a
need to get
regular
back.
Instagram, right? You use it not it's not just like a plant Instagram. It's
No,
everything.
it's my personal page that I kind of just shifted over to posting more plants. Eli's always telling me, my boyfriend, he's always
Mhm.
telling me like start a plant Instagram, but I'm like, I have to juggle two Instagram accounts. Like, who wants to do that? I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people do it,
I
but
have 4.
Eli used to work in social media okay, so we worked with Tim Hosta.
Okay. Oh yeah, you know Lynn.
Yeah.
Tim.
So we worked with Tim Hosta in the vape industry, and Eli did social media with Tim. So they all had like 8 different Instagram accounts. I'm like, no way. I don't want to
Yeah.
spend that much time on the internet, even though I already do.
Yeah, I hear you. I go through waves actually. Like the 2 plant ones, I'm very, very active nowadays. But like I have a photography one. I actually had a dad page. I'm super dorky. I had a dad
Okay.
page for a little
Dad's
bit.
Disneyland page.
Yeah, I was just like posting hashtag dads of Instagram with my kids and activities and stuff because I love doing like fun stuff with the kids and like filming
Okay.
it. I like to document everything because I love photography. So, uh, but yeah, they've been abandoned. I'll go through waves though where I'll start shooting again and then I'll post. But yeah, it's a lot to deal with. It's already addictive enough.
Right.
It's
Especially if
invasive,
you have an
actually.
addictive,
I think social
especially if
media
you have
is
an
invasive.
addictive personality,
Yeah,
like we
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you experienced a little bit of that in your history too.
It runs in my family.
Yeah, same, same.
I did my fair share, but
Yeah,
I
that's
was
a
lucky enough to learn from my older siblings and cousins and
great.
watch them in their trials and tribulations. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that.
Learn through others'
I'll do
mistakes.
everything but that.
Yeah,
That was my mindset.
yeah,
Try everything else but that.
I hear you. Yeah.
But
Uh, There was a time where I thought that I would do everything but that too, and
yeah,
unfortunately for me, it didn't work out that way. I thought that one thing was more mild than the other, and at the end of the day,
it's
your
that
body
addict
doesn't know the
mentality.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, Your body doesn't know the difference between whether it's something oral, injected, snorted, put up your butt, whatever the way you do it. Your body doesn't know the difference. It's all drugs. But
Yep.
that's a conversation for another day, I suppose. Um, yeah, that's also a little known thing. I feel like understated is the nature of the disease of addiction. Actually, is that it is inherited. It very well can be inherited. That's
Yeah.
been proven for sure, and it can run
I
in
just,
your family.
yeah, I know that on both sides of my family, I have aunts and uncles, and they've either overcome or it's overcame them, you know?
Yeah,
So I just kind of tried to steer away, even though I was like like in the rave scene, and I obviously have taken drugs before,
yeah,
but like I only did ecstasy twice.
really.
Yeah.
And you were in
Like,
the drum and bass scene and the rave
mhm,
scene.
yeah.
Awesome. One of the
Like,
rare ones, actually. That.
I was like, I'll just smoke some weed, drink
Yeah,
some alcohol, I'll be all right.
yeah.
But I remember, sorry, mom, if you watch this. I remember my mom coming into my bedroom when I was like, I want to say 14 or 15, and I had gone to an underground rave, and I
Mhm.
fell asleep with a binky in my mouth. And she's like, she came in my room the next day. She's like, why the fuck are you sleeping with a pacifier? Uh, teeth still clenched.
Yeah. OG rave kid, man. Hell yeah. I was the same way. I started raving like when I was 15 and I didn't stop ever really. I mean, I've cut back. I still go from time to time, but I raved hard from like 15 to 25 and like spun. I started with drum and bass and then eventually got into house and techno, but I love drum and bass. I know you mentioned respect to me. Drum and bass has a special place in my heart because it's kind of like an offshoot from hip hop a little bit. You know, it's got
Yeah.
that funky, variation to it. So I've always loved drum and bass.
I've kind of geared more towards like the liquid, more melodic
Ooh,
and
I love
singing.
liquid drum and bass. Yes.
That's what I listen to almost every day.
I'll dance to that shit all night long until the
I
sun
have
comes
dance
up.
parties in here since clubs have been closed.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I
I'm
love the
like,
liquid style of dance too. I love dancing. That's like my biggest thing is that I'm for sure a dancer. I love to dance. It's awesome. Cool. We have so much in common.
I feel like you're probably like a year or two older than me.
I'm 31.
Yeah, I'm 30.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. I'm sure we have some mutual friends actually
Like who?
from the scene.
Who?
I don't know. I'm just assuming we have mutual
Probably.
friends from drum and bass, from especially if you went to Respect and stuff like that.
I've only been to Respect.
Okay.
Yeah, last time I went, I saw Goldie on Thanksgiving.
Oh, awesome.
Um, yeah, that one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, who else was there? DJ Hype,
Cool. Very cool.
some UK artist.
Yeah.
That
So
was dope.
tell me, what what do you find in the plants? Like, what is it doing for you in your life? And then I'd like to talk about some cactus and succulents as well. But what do you find from it?
Um, peace of mind and meditation,
Mhm.
and just like it helps me separate just everything, like work, other
Yeah.
personal troubles. um I don't know, I don't really feel anxious when I'm with my plants,
Right.
unless one starts rotting or you know
Yeah. A little bit of sadness, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I just feel like it's my happy place.
I feel you. That's awesome. Do you incorporate it like into a routine?
It's a daily routine, especially
Yeah.
with like having different types of collections of plants, having
Right.
my house plants, like those take a little bit more than my cactus and succulents. But like obviously I want to go check on those every day too, because new flowers are coming up every day. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I recently had baby kittens born underneath my
I
cactus
saw
stand.
that. I saw that.
However, recently the mom decided to move them. So
Wow.
they're no longer there. Plus
Interesting.
side, I was able to water my cactus after a month and a half. Yeah, I was like kind of stressing like the day I was supposed to water all my cactus after a month. mama cat went down there, and she's a stray. She had a litter of 6 babies under my plant stand. I'm like, okay, guess my plants are gonna suffer.
How did the plants take it?
They were only the kittens were only down there for 2 weeks, and
Okay.
I did break, and I have a pump like sprayer,
Mm.
and I went out and kind of like gave them a sip as opposed to like drenching them.
Yeah. So it wouldn't like leak through onto the cats.
Yeah, but I mean, since then the mom moved them. I want to say a week ago. The mom moved the baby kittens, and I was able to actually give them a nice drenching, and like, you know, if I notice that a plant is like a cactus, especially if it's starting to get wrinkled, like my gymnos, they'll start to get like really sunken in before I water them,
Mm.
or like wrinkly. Then I'll like butt chug them.
Okay.
That makes sense, right? Bottom
Yeah.
water.
No, it does. I feel you.
But I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't do that to all my plants. That takes way too much time.
So wait, you're saying they're getting wrinkly from dehydration?
Yeah, they
Or
start to like shrivel. Not
Mhm.
like I try to hard grow my plants. I want them to look more in habitat, even though they're in pots in
Yeah.
my front yard. So I kind of let them talk to me and tell me when they need water instead of like watering them on a schedule.
Yeah. That's cool. I feel that.
I mean, same with my houseplants. I'm like, oh, you're droopy. You need some water.
Yeah. Well, it's nice when you can actually see them be receptive to the water, like respond. You
Oh
know, when
yeah,
you actually can see a
start to perk
response.
up.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen some cool time lapses of people like letting their plant get a little droopy and
with their houseplants.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I try not to let it get that bad. I'm like start to see like with the Hoyas, they're kind of like succulent like leaves.
Yeah.
They're kind of like harder succulent like leaves. So like they'll start to get more malleable.
Mm. Mm.
Like right now I watered a couple days ago in here.
You have so many different watering requirements then, huh? Even just in this room alone?
This room alone, yeah, these guys need like purified water. The ones by the humidifier, they kind of freak out if they get tap water, the brown edges and shit like that.
Okay.
These guys don't really care. But I have a Nepenthes in here right now.
Can I
That
see it?
one, yeah, it's a small one that I bought recently. I need to take this leaf off.
It's okay.
But it hasn't given me any pictures yet. I also don't think it's getting enough light in here. So I want to move it outside, but at the same time, I still want one in here.
Yeah.
Kind of just like, all right, you're kind of going to suffer because I want you inside.
Very cool. I wasn't really honestly familiar with that genus.
I have more on my porch that are a lot more mature and actually have pictures that are catching bugs actively. I'll shoot you some pictures of them.
Cool. Yeah, I would love to see some more of your plants throughout the episode if you're open to showing me certain ones.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you what percentage of your collection is here? A very small percentage?
For house plants, this is where I keep most of them. There's like I have others in the other like my bedroom, and but not that many because lighting and
Yeah.
Eli, I don't want to encroach on his space as well, you
Sure.
know.
Yeah.
Trying to be respectful with it all and not cause waves with my plant addiction. So I remember like some of the first plants I brought home as house plants, I put them in our bedroom and I put them next to his Xbox, which is where his beer sets, or he puts the remote or his phone when he's playing. So I kind of just like started taking over his space, and he like kicked him out of the room real quick. So I'm like, all right, cool. I learned my lesson. Like he didn't even
starting to affect other people with this.
And that was like early on. That was like I brought home a calathea and one of these, and both of which died. But you know, it was all my learning curve with houseplants. And
what type of plants have you had some difficulty with? You just said a calathea.
In the beginning, calathea, yeah, I had to learn their needs because they're humidity hose. all my calathea are right there by the humidifier.
Okay.
I've struggled with some Hoyas, the thinner leafed ones. I've struggled with, I just killed a freaking astrophytum that I had for 3 years, and
What
it
happened?
just kind of went. I had been struggling with it for a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was one of those ones with dots all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. I just throw them away and I move on.
Yep, that's what I did. I've struggled with like these African violets that I showed you earlier. Struggled with those a bit. As for succulents and cacti, I can't say that I really have killed any of my cacti recently. However, like I said, I don't water very often, and I try to let the plants talk to me, so I'm not losing them on rot. However, one of my loafs, I've had a constant struggle with root mealies. And it, no matter what I do, I've sprayed it. I noticed that it was like, it went from being like a little button this big to being like, and like super shrunken down. And I was like, what the hell's going on? So I took it out of the pot the other day, and the entire like tuberous root system was coated in mealies.
Gnarly.
Like, oh shit. So I sprayed it off, did all that, and now I'm trying to get it back. But I've had it for 2 years, and it's been a cycle of getting the mealies off and having mealies. I bought it with mealies on it, and I didn't realize because it was under the soil.
Yeah.
But
just the loaf, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That same loaf was about to flower a couple months back, and a bird decided to swoop down and bite the flower off of it, and also take 2 chunks off the side of the plant.
Oh.
Hopefully it had fun.
Yeah. I always laugh at that. It's like the third person to tell me that one of their psychoactive plants might have gotten eaten by some kind of animal.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got to be active for them.
Like,
it's
you have to know that they have to sense it. They have to know it has something in it.
Yeah. There's a reason why they want it.
Perhaps.
Maybe I don't know. Psychedelic Ninja says that we're attracted to the energy of those plants. So maybe the certain birds are a little in touch with the divine or something.
Maybe.
That's cool. So did the pandemic intensify your collecting at all?
I want to say I was already like buying in copious amounts before the pandemic.
Yeah.
However, when nurseries and plant shops were like the only places open, and that's the only place I can go, I did find myself going a lot more.
Yeah.
So probably yes.
Right.
Even though I don't want to admit that it was the pandemic that sparked more of a buying spree. Like, I did have a collection beforehand.
Yeah, right. Cool. Very cool. So can we see some plants?
Yeah, you want to like, I should have brought some of my cacti inside.
No, take your time. Do whatever you got to do. I'd love to see some. So real quick, I want to tell you, Kimmie, I'm very glad that we did this because you're perhaps the first like avid houseplant collector that I've talked to, and I've been wanting to bring those different sectors of the plant community together.
I was talking to Vic about that today.
Were you?
I met up with him at Green Touch earlier to get the microphone. And I was like, he hasn't had anybody that's talked about houseplants. I think I'm going to. He's like, please do.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad you did. Thank you. What do you got there?
Here's an example of what I mean by like, this guy needs water. Like, do you see how tiny, like the lighting's a little, the sun's
okay. Through. Looks good to me.
It's all like sunken down.
Yeah.
So this guy's going to get some water soon. Okay, this is a
truly
plant
hard grown
that was in the picture of me that you posted. This is one that Ivan gave me for my birthday last year. It's a euphorbia.
Wow.
I'm gonna butcher the name. It's a dead stick plant. That's what the common name is. The dead.
Yeah, it looks like a stick plant.
Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
never really know if it's dead or alive, but it actually has a flower on it right here. The
Mm,
flowers are very lackluster, like most euphorbia flowers.
mm. That's cool. I like that.
And then I brought this in because it's my favorite pot that I own.
Oh, I love it.
And I've had this pot for years, and it just keeps getting
Wow, look
a
at
smaller
that.
brain put in it once
Oh, so
they
you've put a few
outgrow it.
plants in it?
Yeah,
I love
but
it.
like you guys were talking about cool plants from Walmart and Lowe's.
Yeah.
This one, all my brain cacti, all my crested, anything that I have, I've gotten at Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart.
What?
It
Or,
normally has one of those upgraded flowers
oh
as
God, the fake ones that are glued on
enhanced
it.
flowers, as what is it, Cactus Update calls them? Yeah, the plastic or straw flowers. I have a friend that works at Lowe's. Shout out to Brittany. Her Instagram's Brit's Garden. She told me a couple years back to use a hair dryer on the low setting, emphasis on the low setting, to melt the glue and remove those flowers without putting
Awesome.
extra stress or harm on your plants.
Great tip.
So I
Awesome.
don't ever hesitate to buy the plants with the fake flowers glued on, because I
Yeah.
could just remove it just like that.
Yeah, that shit bothers me, dude. When I see spray painted orchids or whatever, spray painted succulents, dyed
Yes.
orchids, it's like they're fucking mutilating these plants. My lady, every time I'm like, God, these motherfuckers. I get angry
Eli sent me a
when I
picture
see
the other
them.
day when he was at Home Depot. He sent me a picture of an orchid, and it was the dyed ones, the blue and purple and
Yeah.
all that. And he's like, dude, this one's cool. Do you want it? I'm like, no, that's dyed. Thanks, babe. But
It looks cool. It does look cool.
yeah, it does look cool. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's not what
Yeah.
the next blooms are going to look like.
Right.
The
Right.
next blooms are going to be just white.
I'm sure the plant doesn't like it.
No, it can't.
Yeah.
They say like the succulents that are sprayed, they say it's a plant safe paint. I'm like, what's a plant safe paint?
Please.
What is a plant safe
It
paint?
straight up looks spray painted, dude. It's hideous.
My cat's in here trying to sniff this cactus.
That's cool.
My other cat is, I don't know if you saw my post earlier where my cat is in my glass case.
Oh, cats are so funny.
So I can't put plants down there because Mr. Wolf thinks that that is his spot in here.
Yeah, that's funny. Cats are so weird. They like little boxes and compartments, and that's a spot, huh?
That's his spot in the
Strange.
glass case.
How does he get in there? Is there an opening in the back?
He paws at it and then he shoves his nose and like opens it.
Oh wow, it's got like a door.
Yeah, it has a door on the front. I should maybe lock it, but
Now the majority of houseplants are toxic to pets, right?
yeah.
Yours are smart. They don't eat them.
Wolfie, my male cat, he was born on my porch, and I've had him since he was 2 days old. When I ended up trapping the mama cat too, and I had a feral mama cat and 4 babies in my plant room.
Oh shit.
But I like made an enclosure for them so they weren't like attacking my stuff.
Yeah.
But so he was raised in this room, so it's just
he's used to it.
He's learned he's a year old. He's learned through the year that I've had him not to mess with my plants. I mean, a spray bottle works wonders to teach cats something, you know.
Awesome.
He doesn't really mess with them.
I've had some feral cats over the years. I've rescued them and trapped them the same and because they keep having babies underneath my house, and
you have to do something.
Taming them is gnarly.
Yeah.
Taming them, it's a process. And there was one I had to let it go. One of the feral kittens, he was just too crazy, dude. Super aggressive.
One day, Wolf's mom got out of the enclosure, and she was basically going batshit in my plant room. She had knocked down like 5 or 6 plants and was running amok. And I tried to catch her with a fishing net. And I ended up swinging and hitting the window and shattering the fucking window.
Shit. Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, after that, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't keep you anymore. Put her back outside.
Uh,
But I tried
yeah.
until I broke a window and destroyed plants. And yeah, it was a whole ordeal. It was
Yeah.
fun. I was supposed to be in bed already, and I go to work at 4 in the morning.
I've seen
So,
it on your story. You're up there, fucking butt crack of dawn.
yeah, so I go to bed very early. So I was supposed to be in bed, and then I was caught trying to trap this cat, and it was just all bad. Broke a
You're still on
window.
the same schedule now that you're off? Are you doing the same thing? Getting up early?
Um, I'm forcing myself to stay awake. So I'll wake up at 4 instead of, 2.
Mm,
But then I try to go back to bed and try not to look at social media or anything until later.
yeah.
Doesn't always work.
Yeah, it's a nasty habit. The first thing when you wake up in the morning, and the first thing you do is look at social media, especially if you have like I don't know, political things on your feed or whatever, world events. It can be like the first thing you're doing is stressing yourself out essentially. And you might not realize it. It can feel pretty benign, but like you're absorbing like energy from the content that you look at. And it's not that these things aren't important, but they maybe could be placed at a different time of the day.
Oh, most definitely.
And I have a habit of doing that for sure. I'll look at social media and get my dopamine from my likes or whatever.
I mean, don't we all?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the point of having social media and posting things?
Right. Yeah. There's a dark side to it for sure. And
Sure.
like there were points where I was like, oh, I'm gonna ditch my smartphone. And
Try to go back to the flip phone.
before I started Earthling Botanical and this, I was like really like getting at the point where I felt like it was like so toxic. But I think I'd rather just follow in certain people's footsteps and like delete my personal my Facebook is terrible. Facebook is just like anytime I look at it, I'm like, why am I looking at this? But yeah.
Yeah, it's like political vomit all over your Facebook.
Fucking paragraphs.
What are you doing, Wolfie?
Yeah, paragraphs. Hi, kitten. Hi. Those pretty eyes.
Thanks. What are you doing? You can't step on the computer.
I have a cat that looks just like that. She's like, I don't know, part Russian blue or something, though.
Yeah, he's just whole part stray.
Yeah.
His dad is actually a stray that I've been feeding for a long time that I need to trap and get fixed. All
That's
three of my
awesome.
cats are from him.
That's awesome that you're doing that. We have one named Socks that we feed too. And every once in a while there's other ones. There's one named Marmalade that the dog and the cats don't like. But Marmalade's like really scruffy and she's like all fucked up and
Oh,
like I don't know, for some reason they don't like her. But Socks is cute.
Marmalade.
He hangs out. And yeah, I love cats, neighborhood cats.
Yeah, the strays like are drawn to me.
Yeah, I think it's an energy that you're giving off.
They know that I'll care for them.
Yeah, and this is something that I come across a lot are individuals like yourself in the plant community, and I appreciate that. It's cool because what other way would I necessarily have met you or A, B, or C had I not come into the plant community? And I keep finding these really like-minded and caring individuals that like love nature, love plants. Like you love yoga. I've been practicing yoga my whole life. It's just weird. It's really weird.
We're all a bunch of like-minded folk.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
cut from the same cloth. Like I think